everybody. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear. And then, and then we discuss it over a cool glass of coffee, even though mine's hot. And I'm your boy, Patrick M. Dunn. And I'm joined here by my crafty, wicked Wiccan, Kat Halstead, the author. Ooga, welcome back, girl.
Hello.
Welcome back to the round table.
The round table.
Yeah, it's more like a square. I don't know where you're sitting, but I'm definitely sitting at a square.
I'm literally on my couch with a lap desk.
Oh, yeah, kind of like me, too. You have like a TV tray, like a fold-out, and you got like a Hungerman dinner next to you, or like a kid cuisine.
No, I have the coffee table.
What the fuck is ketchup doing on your coffee table at like 9 in the morning, your time?
Listen, it's still there from when we had tater tots last night.
You didn't fucking put that shit in the refrigerator?
No, it's ketchup.
Does ketchup go bad? I don't even know, to be honest with you.
It's fine.
I don't know, if you say so. I mean, it does say keep refrigerated after opening on the side.
I'm checking.
You're checking. You don't believe me? You think I'm making this up?
Oh, wait, no, it does. For best results, refrigerate after opening.
Okay, for best results. All right, we'll allow that. We'll allow that to be sitting on your coffee table for 6 months while you're, you know what? You're going to put it away in the back room, but your in-law aunt-in-law's fucking shoes are still in a box. So you didn't have anywhere to put it.
They're still, like, all over the room.
Ugh, we need to, you know what?
All her crap is still in that room and the other room. So then, like, everything of mine and John's is, like, overflowing, and it looks like we're the complete total hoarders.
Give me that bitch's phone number. I'll take care of it. I'll TCB.
Like, she came by for mail. It didn't even come downstairs to grab some of her crap, but she could come by for her mail.
Hold her mail. Fucking lock it up and say, you know what? Put the mail in the box of shoes. How about that? So in order for her to walk out of there with mail, she has to bring the box of shoes and tape it. Tape it shut.
Yeah.
Mystery solved. There you go. Put it on your agenda or your planner for like 6 o'clock today. Pencil it in for 6 o'clock, right? Like tape Aunt Marjorie's mail into the shoebox. All right. What the fuck are we doing today? What the hell? What classic television series are we dipping into for the first time?
Dipping into a show we have talked about wanting to do for a while. It's one we've definitely talked about.
Forever.
It's one that neither of us fully watched.
I think I watched the first season and then I like hopped in at the end and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why is there time travel in this like dramatic teen soap?
It's kind of that show like you kind of put on while you were doing your homework and you kind of maybe paid attention, but not really.
It ebbed and flowed in quality, I will say. I'll throw that out there.
I feel like the promos really for this show made you want to watch it or not.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to talk about that. All right, so the show that we're doing today, we're doing Felicity, the WB drama that aired from 1998 to 2002. And I'm going to go back in time. You ready to go back in time just like Felicity did in the final season?
I'm so confused by this show on like so many different levels.
Oh, well, I have theories of the time travel. We'll get to it. We'll get to it at the end. But We're going to go back to our lives in 1998. And I remember it was the summer leading up to the fall. And I just remember marketing for the show was everywhere, like promos on TV, like not even the WB, like other channels, like MTV, maybe CBS. Like, I don't know, it was just everywhere. Like posters were on the buses.
Yes, you either saw like promotion for Felicity or the Jennifer Love Hewitt show. Spin-off of Party of Five.
Oh, Time of Your Life. Was that the same year? Was that the same, like, time?
Yes.
Like, these shows, like, crisscrossed?
They were released the same year.
I didn't think about this until right now. Both shows have a somewhat similar premise. Felicity leaves her comfortable hometown to chase after a boy. And on Time of Your Life, Jennifer Love Hewitt escapes her comfortable hometown to chase after her real parents? Was that the premise, I think?
Biological mother.
But they both go to New York City, right? Like alone.
Yeah.
With like nothing but a bag, like a small bag with maybe like 3 outfits in it.
I think Felicity maybe had a trunk of stuff, you know.
Felicity was going to college. Like she was moving to a dorm. So, I mean, I'm sure she brought her like computer, her like compact computer. Oh, Gateway. I bet she had a Gateway.
You know that Felicity, at the very least, Felicity had that damn tape recorder.
Oh, yeah, because she was sending voice memos to Janine Garofalo, her friend Janine Garofalo.
So stupid.
Did they do that in this episode? You know what? I didn't even think about that until right now.
No. I feel like it faded away after a while.
I feel like that was like the first 8 episodes, and then the test audiences were like, why is Janine Garofalo calling up Felicity with like Memorex tapes that she bought at the Dollar Tree?
Yeah, like for real.
Oh, do you think Felicity saved those tapes like she has right now, like in her wherever she lives?
Like in the attic,
Yeah, like in her attic, and
waiting for her kids to find them and find out what like a crazy stalker their mother was.
yeah. Do you think it's like it's underneath like her yearbook and maybe her, I don't know, like maybe some like papers that she printed out that she wrote, some like good pre-med papers. She's like switched majors, right? She was gonna be a doctor, and now she's like, I'm gonna be an artist.
She went from pre-med to art.
What a fucking waste.
Felicity, girl.
What kind of artist was she? Like a painter? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think she painted.
No. You know what? She took like a cool class, like NYU. It was like a fake NYU. Like it wasn't even the real NYU.
Yeah, it was University of New York.
UNY.
UNY.
Oh. She took like a cool like I don't know, like like you take like a throwaway class. She probably took like figure drawing or something, and she was drawing like I don't know, people, nudes, drawing nudes, and she's like, I love this. I'm gonna throw away my whole life. Threw away her life. She's probably doing nothing right now. She's
Probably.
She's probably not even a graphic designer because like I don't know, that's not really even a job anymore.
I feel like it's really popular for like random people on Twitter to like cold DM you, be like, do you need a graphic designer? And I was like, I sent this tweet about Days of Our Lives. What the hell are you fools DMing me?
We'll get to that in a second. But I think like graphic designer was a cool like 1995 to 2004 job. It was like in demand.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like I don't know, you can get free versions of like Photoshop online now, and like wear little like websites you can sign up for, and it just like does graphics for you. So like you don't need to pay someone an hour salary to fucking make you like a cool fucking, I don't know, coffee cup logo to put on your styrofoam cups or your acrylic tumblers. Like it's just I don't know, like Cafe Press does that shit for you now for free. Let's be real.
I mean, hell, I tossed together our logos, not that difficult.
No, or like, you know what? You hire like a really talented administrative assistant who can do it all.
Yeah.
He or she can answer the phones and fucking, I don't know, draw the fucking stencil that's going to be on your shirts, on your company shirts. Sorry if like any of our listeners are graphic designers and we just like shit all over your profession, but I don't know, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. Tell us at Very Podcast on Twitter and tell us if we're, I don't know, being idiots, because we've been stepping on a lot of toes lately. Let's be real.
I mean, to be honest, we're going to forget we said all this, and we're going to get a reply like, and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, peanut allergy 2.0. No, like 4.0. 4.0. All right. Do you want to go through this night of television first, or do you want to do like a quick like Felicity characters rundown?
Let's do this night in television.
All right. I got it up. All right. This is like a middling night of television. There's a few saviors tonight, but there's a reason why it's not a great night of television, because this episode aired.
I just want it on the record that Patrick admitted this before going into it.
So we're doing season 4, episode 8, The Last Thanksgiving. This is the final Thanksgiving. I guess they have like lit Thanksgivings. I don't know. Is Felicity known for like?
I mean, okay. I did a little research on this. I did a little like accidental research because I was looking for stuff specifically about this episode, but I found stuff like about their first Thanksgiving episode where, shit you not, the dorm stayed open so the kids could stay in their dorm rooms for Thanksgiving, and this whole group of people decided they were going to stay in New York instead of go home for Thanksgiving.
And it just happens to be everybody who is on the main credits.
My dorm's closed for Thanksgiving. Like, you had to be out.
You know what, though?
Unless you lived in the upperclassmen housing.
I'm thinking that it probably was like a lot of work for Felicity to go back to Palo Alto, California. So
everybody wants to go back though, so they can have their like whole, my mom's Thanksgiving pie or whatever, you know?
I mean, I could see if she was getting on like a commuter rail going back to, I don't know, somewhere in like Philly or like Boston or something. But bitch is gonna get on like a plane. It probably costs like $400 like each way.
No, well, like their first Thanksgiving was 1998. So
we're pre 9/11, so like I don't know, it's wild ticket prices, right?
I mean, in 1998, I went back to New Jersey for Thanksgiving and stayed with my friend for a few days, and then went back to Colorado.
you know what? Felicity's going to fucking UNY. It's probably cost a pretty penny for her to go there. And her dad's like, I just spent like fucking,
Yeah, especially to get those huge ass dorm rooms.
yeah, I just spent 40 grand for you to go to fucking school for the next 3 months. Like just a semester. I ain't flying your ass back. No, you're staying out there. You can stay out there with your cool goth roommate, which we'll get to in a minute. All right. So, yeah, so I guess they have like a lit first Thanksgiving because I looked it up too, and I was like, why did we do that one?
Yeah.
We could have done a tradition. We could have done like 4 years of hot Felicity Thanksgiving. Maybe we can go backwards. We'll be like Felicity time traveling.
I don't think I can handle that.
I was kind of thinking about doing a Brave Felicity rewatch.
No.
I don't know if I can handle the ABC.com commercials.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle the ABC.com site. I can't.
Maybe I'll buy the DVDs. You know what? I'll buy the DVDs. And when I'm done, I'll send them out to you. I'll do a Felicity drop. And then I'll also send you like a Felicity Huffman movie too. Throw it in there for fun.
Just to like switch it up.
Maybe her prison romper. Who knows?
Oh my god.
So we're doing season 4, episode 8. This episode aired Thursday, November 28th, 2002. Actually, Thanksgiving night. This was Thanksgiving, like really Thanksgiving.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. I know I was not watching this.
Want to start off with ABC? Want to start off with the hot ABC lineup? This is wild.
Yes.
So tonight,
Yeah.
a repeat presentation of a miniseries called Dinotopia? Do you know this?
I recognize the name.
But you can't place it.
I know the name, but I never watched it.
I've never seen it and know the name. This was a miniseries based on illustrated fantasy books written by our boy James Gurney. This was based on a fictional utopia where both humans and dinosaurs coexist. And the big name star in this, want to take a guess who like the big name is in this? I don't think you'll ever get it.
Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, you got it. Star of Prison Break and The Flash and also Hot Scoop. Geraldine Chaplin, the daughter of Charlie Chaplin, also stars in this. Isn't that wild?
Okay. That is wild.
And she's still alive. Yeah, she's still kicking. And even like fun fact about Geraldine Chaplin, she played her grandmother in the 1992 biopic Chaplin, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei. What? Tony Stark and Aunt May in 1992 in a movie together. What?
Wow. Wow.
I'm excited for ABC 10 o'clock. Always excited for ABC 10 o'clock. You want to take a hot guess?
I have no clue what it could be. I'm like out of the loop. What is it?
All right. Primetime Live, starring our girl, Diane Sawyer. Our girl. Tonight, she was not interviewing Michael Jackson. Guess who we just missed her interviewing by a few weeks?
Who?
I looked this up. This was a few weeks before this episode. It was her infamous interview with Whitney Houston where she told Diane that crack is whack.
Oh.
We were so close to that night. So close. We almost had it. It like, literally, it was like 2 or 3 weeks before this.
God, I miss Whitney Houston. Fuck you, Bobby Brown. Fuck you.
Ain't nobody humping around with you anymore.
Asshole.
But it's my prerogative to go into CBS 8 o'clock. You ready? You ready for this? Any guesses? Any hot guesses?
I literally have none.
Come on, it's 2002. CBS only has like 3 shows on the air at this point, and they just rerun them like one of them all the time.
Everybody loves Raymond, or King of Queens.
No, it's tonight we got 2 full hours of CSI crime scene investigation. Reruns. It's a rerun. And then following, any hot guesses? I don't think you'll get this, but...
I have no clue.
All right, Without a Trace. Ooga.
Yeah, never would have guessed that.
This was a hot Poppy Montgomery series about the missing person squad, who, I don't know, they're looking for people. And Poppy Montgomery, she's like the queen of procedural television series because she's done episodes of Silk Stockings, NYPD Blue. She was in the completely forgettable Unforgettable, which was on from 2011 to 2016. Twice canceled by CBS and then finally like dropped on A&E for its final season. So... good times of your Poppy Montgomery. You always get like a shitty show you can pop in on. Ooh, that was a good pun.
I feel like she hosted a competition on Big Brother based on one of her procedurals.
Probably. I bet it was Unforgettable. I feel like, because I think that was like her like lead one.
Yeah, maybe.
I love it. We'll have to look it up. All right. You ready? I'm excited for Fox. This is, if I'm going to be watching anything tonight, any guesses? It's a movie.
None. I have no guesses.
It's a cinematic movie. It's the biggest movie of 1999. Part of the biggest franchise ever.
Oh, is it some, like...
ever.
Star Wars trash?
Oh yeah, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which I think is the best Star Wars movie out of them all. I love it.
I am so gonna get dragged for that one.
It's got political intrigue. It's got I don't know, dual lightsabers. It's got Darth Maul. It's got our boy Liam Neeson in it. It's got Ewan McGregor. It's got Natalie Portman. Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm fucking repping him. All right. I'm excited for NBC. We got a hot night of reruns. Actually, no, we got 2 reruns and then 2 specials.
Okay.
NBC 8 o'clock. Any guesses? Any hot guesses? You got to get this.
None. I have no guesses.
Come on, it's Thursday night. It's like the biggest show on NBC at the time.
You're telling me Friends is on?
And guess which episode it is? Take a hot guess.
The one with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah. A repeat of the one with the rumor, which is the Thanksgiving episode that aired the previous year. And hot scoop, it's also episode 31 of our podcast, so go back and listen to it and, I don't know, tell a friend, tell a family member. All right. Any guesses for NBC 8:30? I think this is the second biggest show of the time. A show that is still on, I think? I don't know. Or ended? Just recently ended, sort of.
Ooh, I can't think of what it is. I'm like blank. I'm going to kick myself.
Will and Grace.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it ended. It ended again.
Yeah, well, you know what? It'll be back because NBC's got nothing. They're just gonna drag fucking Deborah Messin, Eric McCormick, I don't know, the other guys. Just drag them out of their fucking non-careers and make them do this. You know what? They're not gonna bring back the Mysteries of Laura. No way.
Yeah, I still can't believe that was a thing.
No. Did they ever solve it? Did we ever solve all the Mysteries of Laura? Or there's still a few left unsaid?
No idea.
I'm not excited about NBC 9 o'clock. I'm not excited about this. It's a special. It's a concert special. 1-hour concert. And it's excerpts from a previously taped concert, I think like the previous September. Any hot guesses? Like who was the hot TV-friendly star for 2002?
Garth Brooks.
Close. Kinda. You're in the same genre. Think a lady.
Shania Twain or Faith Hill?
Faith Hill, you got it. It's tonight. It's When the Lights Go Down. A Faith Hill concert. And I'm going to throw this out there. I don't think I know a single Faith Hill song. I do. I know that In Centrifugal Motion. I know that one.
I was going to say, you better know that one.
That was like the only crossover hit,
Where
right?
Are You Christmas from The Grinch?
And the only reason I know that one song I said I knew is because it like crossed over to like the top 40 radio. And I think the other ones were like top 42. So it never made it.
Yeah.
Stayed on the other side. Stayed on like the fucking Country Zoo channel or whatever. Like country hits. I don't know. NBC 10 o'clock. This is wild. This is fucking wild. One night only. NBC at 10 o'clock presents Elvis Lives. Do you know this?
Is this the thing where they like took old Elvis footage and like inserted it into like new stuff or something?
Sorta. They took like old Elvis clips and then they got like contemporary artists and celebrities to talk about Elvis. And I think they did like duets, maybe. I don't know. Do you want to hear the guest stars? This is like the most 2002iest.
Yeah, let's hear the guest stars.
Chris Isaak, who I don't know was kind of like a nobody, I think, at the time.
Listen, that music video of his played every morning on VH1 at like 4:55 a.m.
It did. But that was like what 1991.
It did for years.
What is it? Foolish Games? Is that it?
Wicked Game.
Wicked Games. Foolish Games is a jewel. I know that song by Chris Isaak, and then he's on like a weird I know like David Lynch soundtrack. I think he did like Blue Velvet or something. I don't know. Like that's all I know. Like that's it. Like I don't know what else he did after Wicked Games came out.
I'm literally looking at his list of songs and I'm like, I know none of these.
Maybe he did a cover of Foolish Games because everyone got it confused. Who knows? All right. Kevin Bacon was in this. The Baconator. Mary J. Blige. Bono. John Bon Jovi. For some reason, Naomi Campbell. Chuck D. of Public Enemy. Former President Bill Clinton. Sheryl Crow. Carson Daly. Hold on, you sitting down for this one? You sitting down for the next two?
Oh my god, just give it to me.
All right. Marilyn Manson. The full No Doubt band, not just Gwen Stefani, like the actual band. Do you remember them? Remember when they were a thing?
The actual band.
Yeah. And like in IMDb though, it's funny because it says like the other guys, and then in parentheses it says as No Doubt. So you know you just got like Gwen Stefani, and then the rest of the people were just No Doubt. And hold on. And our girl Our girl Britney Spears. Oh yeah, Britney Spears.
Okay, I was waiting for you to say her.
Yeah, so that was a hot night of Elvis. I don't know. You got No Doubt. Well, you got probably mostly Gwen Stefani talking about like how she used to like Jailhouse Rock, and then the other guys in the background just sitting there on a fucking
Nodding.
stool. Yeah, nodding, agreeing with her.
She hasn't gone bananas yet.
Nope. They're like waiting for their paychecks. We're probably in like what, rock steady age right now? Like hey baby, hey.
Maybe. I don't even know. Wow.
Or it's on the wind down. Because I feel like we're ramping up for her solo album like any minute now. It's
Yeah,
like,
we're like getting close to her solo album.
yep. Gavin just gave her like, I don't know, free reign of the studio, and she's like, I'm gonna make a solo album. And everyone's like, that ain't gonna be anything. And here we are. Bitch is now like, I don't know, singing country with fucking
Blake Shelton, yeah.
ugh, sorry. What a letdown she became. She let us all down. Sorry if there's any Gwen Stefani stands out there. But we no longer endorse her. Is that our...
Can I be honest? I never was the Gwen Stefani fan.
Oh, you mean you didn't like, you didn't wear those little like cool half shirts and scream, I'm just a girl in the world, that's all I'm ever trying to be? Like,
No.
I don't know, to all your guy friends?
No.
You wanted to drive late at night? You didn't want to walk into spider webs and leave messages and stuff?
No.
Well, I'm sorry. Sorry to get to experience ska. Early 90s ska.
Oh my goodness.
You know, when we do our ska episode, I'll wear my checkered Converse and we'll talk about it.
The only ska I know is the Jamaican ska.
I knew you were going to say that. You know what? If No Doubt covered it, you know it'd be on your fucking iPod, your 2002 iPod, or your Zune. You ready for UPN? We got some hot UPN data tonight.
You have shows from UPN? Okay.
No sitcoms, no like canceled sci-fi drama or Star Trek. It's WWE SmackDown. It's a previously taped episode. So, I don't know, probably like...
Okay.
I don't know, The Rock maybe was suplexing somebody? I don't know.
I don't know.
I couldn't find WB data, so I don't know what Felicity's paired up with. We're just gonna take a wild guess and say like Jack and Bobby. I don't even know if that was on at this time.
I think Jack and Bobby was a few years later, and that was such a good show.
Yeah, that might be like 05-ish. I think that's probably like 05.
Yeah. Ugh. If I could find episodes Jack and Bobby, I would be so happy.
I feel like it's on like Crackle for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like I like scrolled through it and was like Jack and Bobby. What?
Yeah, no, I've looked. I haven't been able to find it.
Well, you know what?
I haven't looked lately, though.
Yeah, you gotta put like a Google alert for it, so you get like a hot Google alert. Is that still a thing? Can you still get Google alerts?
Yeah, I got one just yesterday for some Cat Halstead in the UK.
Ooh, we got a Brit cat out there now. Brit cat.
Yeah, she's been there for a while. She keeps like accidentally tagging my author page for her stuff, and I'm like, bitch, this isn't you. Fuck off.
What does she do? Like, what's her thing?
She's like a writer. She's a writer too, and I'm like, bitch, that's not you. That's me.
Shit. We got Doolin Cat Halstead, the authors out there?
Fuck you, other British Cat Halstead.
Oh, you know what? It's going to be like 5 years from now. I'm going to be at Barnes & Noble's. I'm going to be looking for the latest Cat Halstead thriller. And I'm going to pick up the wrong one. I'm going to pick up the wrong cat book. It's going to be Brit Cat. It's going to be a book about like crumpets. I don't know. I'm going to be so disappointed. It's going to be a book about like, I don't know, the royal family. But I thought it was you because I know you're obsessed with them, so I thought I was like, oh, Cat made like an espionage thriller about the royal family.
Like, I think you would know what my books are like.
I don't know, like maybe you wanted to switch genres, like you know how like Stephen King like made like a I don't know, like every now and then he like dips into non-horror.
Yeah, maybe.
You want to try something new? Goddamn Brit Cat. All right, you know what, Brit Cat, if you're listening, tell us what it's like to be British and also an author. And I don't know, maybe we'll get you both on one day. Maybe we'll have a sit down. We'll be like,
she can fuck up.
I'll be Diane Sawyer. You'll be Lisa Marie, and she'll be Michael Jackson. All right, Felicity, you ready? You ready to get into this wild world? You ready to go back in time?
I'm as ready as one can be.
All right, should we do a season forecast breakdown? Should we go through like our major players?
Okay.
All right, I'll let you start it off. I know you're really good at it.
Okay. We obviously have the one, the only Keri Russell, my girl from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, yeah.
As Felicity Porter.
Yeah, you knew her from the Mickey Mouse Club. I knew her from Malibu Shores.
Yes, Malibu Shores!
I remember...
And of course, Emerald Cove.
I never watched Emerald Cove.
The MMC little drama.
Oh, okay. I remember when I started seeing the Felicity promos, I was like, whoa, it's the bitch from Malibu Shores. And I was like all excited. I was like, my girl. It's my girl. I don't remember her name on it. Friend of Tony Luca or DeLuca, whatever his name is.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh, what a time.
Yes, who was also on the MMC.
Who knew? Who knew that, like...
And then he ended up on The Voice years later, and Christina Aguilera didn't recognize him.
Christina Aguilera, she don't get time for any of these fucking wannabes. She's out there making tracks with Lil Kim. She didn't get time for fucking Tony DeLuca.
Okay, so we got Keri Russell as Felicity Porter.
Yep, she's that girl from Palo Alto.
We have Scott Speedman as Ben Covington.
Can we talk about...
the guy she stalks and follows to New York.
Can we do like a quick Scott Speedman corner just for a minute?
Okay.
All right, I remember 1998. I remember the WB and, I don't know, like teen websites. They were like really trying to like push this guy on us. They were like really trying to sell him like he was like the next big thing. He was like the next Pacey.
Yeah.
He's kind of boring. He's not a good actor. He's all right looking.
For 1998, I see it. But I think the thing is, Scott Foley, out of those two, was kind of the breakout.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting Scott Foley to be like the star of the show. Like, I think the game plan of the series was to put Felicity with Ben, right? Like, that was probably like the OG game plan.
That was the whole thing, was get Felicity with this guy she went to high school with, who didn't know she existed, and so she had to follow him to New York. Because that's not creepy.
I remember in the very first episode, it's like graduation day, and Felicity like had this like, I don't know, 4-year crush on him, and she like never talked to him. Like maybe he like said hi to her one day, or like he asked her for like answers to like a math problem.
Yeah.
And that was probably like her like October 3rd moment. But it's the last day of like high school ever. It's graduation, and she's like, this is my like time to shine. She like walks up to him with her yearbook. She's like, hey Ben. She's like, can you sign my yearbook? And he like signs it, and he's like, oh man. He's like, I'm gonna miss you, Felicity. He's like, I wish we were friends over the years. And then like she's like, oh my god,
that's it.
I'm
going to New York.
He wants me. Yeah, she was supposed to go to like Stanford or something, right? Like she had like, I don't know, like a hot career path lined up for her. Like that her father, like I don't know, he probably Felicity Huffman, Aunt Becky, like her way to get into this college. I feel like are the Porters rich? Like, what's their history? Do we know?
I don't. I feel like they've got a decent amount of money. Like she has to, because she decided to go to New York. Her dad's like, you have to get a job.
Yeah,
like if she had gone to the school he picked, she'd be like set.
I feel like she moved across the country, went to like probably in this fictional universe the most expensive school there. Got a job at like a coffee shop or something, and then like managed to still have this like gigantic apartment in later seasons. Yeah. So I don't know. She's definitely gonna have like some, daddy send some money to her. I don't know like their dynamics. I don't know if he was like a software engineer or something. I feel like he has some like crazy job like that for some reason. I don't know why. He like invented like a Windows competitor.
Yeah.
He's like the owner of Linux. John Porter -Linux, but Felicity just like dropped the Linux from her name because she didn't want that association. And then like what's Ben? Like he also wanted to go to med school. Like isn't that his
Like I think actually Ben is kind of like he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's kind of like, I think the reason she takes the art class, I could be completely wrong. Is she takes the art class because Ben's taking the art class.
Okay, like you know what? He was probably like walking along campus one day, and like his schedule was like poking out of his book bag, and she like took it out for a minute, like photocopied it and put it back real quick. She had this like big scheme, and then she like looked at the schedule and like switched all her classes around so she'd be in the same class. She's like, "Oh Ben, hey, we're in the same class," and he's like, "Do I know you?" She's like, "Yeah, Felicity," and he's like, "Yeah. You were the hair girl, right?" He's like, "Yeah, me, hair girl. Remember in like 10th grade, you asked me like what the what the equation of pi is, and I told you." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, all right, I kind of remember that. I got a B on that test, thanks to you." She's like, "Yeah. Anyway, you want to go for coffee later?" And he's like, he's like, "Now I got this annoying like fly buzzing around me for the next 4 years."
Well, and then if I remember correctly, they both end up a work study at the same coffee shop.
Yeah, and like they're still working there, like in this episode.
Yes.
Like, they didn't move on. Like, Jesus Christ. But then, hold on. Hold on. We have to throw a wrench into this because I think after a few episodes, like, Ben starts warming up to Felicity.
Yeah.
And then enters our boy, Scott Foley, as Noel, the RA.
Yeah. Well, no, he's been there the whole time because he's her RA. But, like, he's goofy, and Felicity doesn't realize that she has a crush on him until that first Thanksgiving when Jennifer Garner shows up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Jennifer Garner was in this. Yeah. So Noel he's like a little bit older, right? Because he's the RA.
He's like a year older.
He's a whole year older, a lot more wiser.
But, like, in college, that kind of means everything.
Yeah, he's probably, like, very close to being able to buy champagne. I feel like he's a champagne drinker. Even though he gets, like, blottoed in this episode. He kind of has that, the Seth Cohen, like, the nerd falls for, like, the it girl. And it's kind of like a switch because normally in, like, Palo Alto, Felicity's kind of like the nerdy girl. But when she comes to UNY, she becomes, like, the it girl. Like, all of a sudden everyone thinks she's cool. She's hanging around with a pink Power Ranger who's no longer on the show. She dipped out. She fucking, I don't know, she had to go fight Rita Repulsa.
Apparently, in real life, her mother suddenly passed away and she wanted time off to, like, deal with everything.
She came back, though, like, here and there. They're like, she dipped in and out.
Yeah, like, she came back. She dropped in, like, another time or two.
Yeah, she, like, came in. She said, hey, sorry, I was fighting Rita Repulsa with Zach and Billy and Tommy. I had to go to, like, a different galaxy. Fight a giant fucking, I don't know, Voltron thing. But I'm back. I'm here. We're gonna go to a club and, I don't know, hang out with your goth friend who we'll talk about next. You want to talk about Megan?
Yeah.
Tell us about Megan. I feel like she's like your shining star.
Okay, so Megan is probably the character I liked the most.
She was my second favorite. A guest star was my top, but we'll get to it in a little bit.
She is a Wiccan. She's kind of like your wacky neighbor type. But at the same time, she was like the most down-to-earth and normal of them all, which is terrifying.
So the first season, she was like a background character. Like, Felicity would come home and she'd be like super gothed up and she'd be, I don't know, like angry at something. Angry at a professor. Like, I'm gonna fucking make a voodoo doll out of him.
Yeah.
Over time, I think Felicity started warming up to her and Megan started coming out of her shell a little bit more because I think she was kind of like an introvert. I'm trying to remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a little fuzzy, but yeah. I just remember she was kind of like, she was that weird roommate. Like, we all had a weird roommate, right? In college?
Yeah, and they played up the goth angle, like, so much in season 1.
Yeah.
Like, they super played it up. It was wild. But I think as the series went on, and just like in real life, people that are goth, you know what? They get to be like 19 or 20 and they're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
How many times, like, you know what? I gotta wake up every morning, fucking put this like white makeup on my face, give myself like a flock of seagulls haircut, wear these fucking giant Hot Topic pants. I can be like, I don't know, I step on the fucking bottoms of them all the time. I'm gonna like break my neck, like running down the stairs trying to get to my civics class. So she grew out of it, but she grew out of the style, but she was like still into it. Then she started like dabbling in like witchcraft. Oh, I'm sorry, Wiccan.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't want to offend our Wiccan friends out there, our wicked Wiccans out there.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the main character, like our girl in the craft. Like she doesn't need to goth on us. She can just wear her regular clothes and still be a Wiccan. And that's the kind of Megan we get in this fourth season episode. And she's fun. She's quirky.
Yes, that's how the episode basically opens, is her and Felicity on the phone. And she's all like, so you and Ben are getting back together this weekend. And Felicity's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I did a love spell on you two. And Felicity's like, what? She's like, yeah, it's the same spell I did on the Spice Girls. And Felicity's like, the Spice Girls aren't together.
And Megan's like, they will be. And guess what? She was right. She was right.
She was right.
Fucking Queen Megan. You know what? Who are some famous duos or groups that we can get back together? We need to call her up. Maybe get the White Stripes back together.
In sync.
Maybe the cast of Will and Grace, like, and actually have them be friends and not all hate each other.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's what we need.
Yeah, let's get Megan Mullally and Deborah Messing back together, so they're not like recording their scenes for like separate rooms at separate times, and they're just like green screening them in the same scene together.
Because what is this? The Good Wife, for crying out loud?
Yeah, what is this fucking that Mariah Carey movie that we did, or like all of Arrested Development, like the later seasons?
A Christmas Melody, it is classic.
It's like Mariah Carey just filmed all her scenes at home in front of her like comfortable green screen, and then everyone else had to fucking hustle and bustle around like a small fucking southern town that was painted to be like a fucking snowy New England city.
With Kathy Najimy in it.
Oh yeah, our girl. All right. Is that enough on Megan for now? We kind of filled in?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, like, really gets Megan.
Yeah, I think we got Megan. And, hold on. Has the actress been in anything else? Because I have never seen her in anything else. Like, have you looked her up?
Hold on. Let me pull her up.
Like, I feel like she might have been in an episode of, like, How I Met Your Mother. That's just, like, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, maybe she was one of Ted's girlfriends at one point in time.
She's been in the TV show Awkward, The Catch, Selfie. She was in a Hallmark movie called The Christmas Spirit, Star Trek Into Darkness, the show Parenthood, another Hallmark movie, like old school Hallmark, Love's Christmas Journey. She was in the movie Super 8.
Oh, yeah, I've totally seen that. You know what? She's probably
which is a J.J. Abrams movie.
It is. Because I was going to do a J.J. Abrams corner, but if we have time, we might be in overtime. Hold on. I want to throw something out. You mentioned the TV series Selfie.
Yes.
When it was like 2012 or 13 or something, when that came out, that was like my show that year.
2014.
Had our girl Karen Gillan in it. Sam Levine, Martin Lawrence was in some episodes. It was a great show. It was kind of like a take on My Fair Lady. Isn't that what it was based on?
Yes, I was like waiting to see what you said. I was going like, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me if you don't get this.
She's supposed to be Eliza Doolittle. Is that?
Yeah, she's like your Eliza Doolittle. And John Cho was the Henry Higgins.
You're right. Do you know what I was going to say instead of My Fair Lady? You're going to be so mad at me. I was going to say, wasn't it based on The Sound of Music?
Dude!
I knew it was something like old-timey like that.
Those are
modern.
two totally different stories.
I know. I mix things up.
Like, first of all, The Sound of Music, like, actually happened, man.
Oh, did it? It's legit?
I mean, I'm sure there are parts that are dramatized, but, like, the Von Trapp family is, like, a real family.
Am I going to get shit for not knowing this? Just like the time I got shit for not knowing the plot to The King and I.
Yeah.
You're like describing the plot to The King and I, and like, hey, that was a Family Guy episode. And you're like, yeah, it's also The King and I.
Also a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, like The Sound of Music.
All right, maybe this weekend I'll have I'll watch The King and I, I'll watch The Sound of Music, I'll watch My Fair Lady, and I don't know, I'll write an essay comparing all three. Or I'll do like a biography of the Von Trapps, is that what you said?
Yes, the Von Trapp family.
All right. Are they problematic? Is this a problematic movie, Kat? Are you making me watch a problematic movie?
No, I'm not going to make you watch a problematic movie.
If you're going to make me watch a problematic movie, then I got a problematic movie for you. The Bad Seed. You're going to watch The Bad Seed.
No.
Can we talk about Greg Grunberg? Do you want to do a Greg Grunberg corner?
Yeah, let's talk about Greg Grunberg.
All right. He's Megan's, like, boyfriend thing.
Husband.
They're married?
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are married?
Yes.
I'm always, like, on the fence about Greg Grunberg. I'm always, like, I'm never sure if I like him or if I hate him. Because he's just kind of, like, there. He just exists in things.
He has 122 credits for acting on IMDb.
Are they all...
He's fucking everywhere.
Are they all J.J. Abrams shows? Because he's, like, J.J. Abrams' like, childhood friend, isn't he? They, like, grew up together or something?
I don't know. I just know he was in the last Star Wars movie.
He's also like the sidekick to what's his name on Alias. He's the pilot on Lost. He's like the guy who has the telekinetic powers on Heroes.
Yeah, he's freaking everywhere.
I feel like he was on that What About Brian show for some reason too. I don't know why.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god, that's right. He played the dad on the Two Young Men on Baby Daddy.
Oh, that's right. All right, so my take on Greg Grunberg is he's always like in a show, and he's like never a character that you absolutely love, or he's never a character that you absolutely hate. He's just a character that exists. And then like one day he gets written off the show, And then it's like 8 episodes later, you're like, whatever happened to Greg Grunberg? And you like look it up, and it's like, oh, he like left to do a pilot.
Dude, he was on an episode of What About Brian?
Yeah, I told you, he's on like anything that J.J. Abrams fucking like fingers touch. He's on it. He's like his, I believe J.J. Abrams said it's like he's like his good luck charm or something.
Okay,
like,
hold on.
Rabbit's foot. Look it up. It's a thing.
Yeah, he's known J.J. Abrams since they were in kindergarten.
There was some show that J.J. Abrams did in like '08 or '09-ish whenever Heroes was on.
Oh my goodness.
And he didn't have time to film it, and the show got canceled, and they were like, oh, it's because Greg Grunberg wasn't on it. But if you look at like J.J. Abrams' track record, he has like a lot more misses than hits.
Totally.
You want to do a quick J.J. Abrams corner? You want to do a quick rundown?
Yeah.
Early career. He wrote the movie Forever Young with Mel Gibson. He did the movie Gone Fishing with Joe Pesci and Danny Glover. He did Mission Impossible 3, Cloverfield, Alias, Joyride, so many things. Regarding Henry, starring Harrison Ford, Star Trek Into Darkness, Fringe, Star Trek Beyond, like all the Cloverfield movies. Like he just has this wild ass filmography. Like it, and he has like so many like unrealized projects too, things that like never went into fruition, like a remake of the movie Earthquake, a movie called Hut for Teacher, early attempts at The Dark Tower, Samurai Jack, a Superman. In the 80s, he was going to do a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. What? So, ooga. Wild fucking stuff. And, like, he's known for sci-fi, but Felicity is just this, like, weird little / young adult drama that he just, like, threw together one day. I don't know why. You know what? I feel like he was like trying to get a girl, and he's like, I'm gonna win her over with like a sweet story, a sweet like romance.
Oh, he was married at this point.
Maybe he's Felicity in this story, and he like went across the country and followed some girl.
He got married in 1996.
We talked about Noel. We talked about Greg Grunberg. We talked about Megan. Who am I missing? We missing? Elena, our girl Elena.
Oh, Elena, yes.
She was another roommate of Felicity in the first season, I feel like.
Yeah, she's Felicity's roommate. When they got into this room, there's like 2 other roommates that I don't think we see very often.
Yeah.
They didn't stick around for Thanksgiving because they like went home to see their families. Yeah, so Elena's trying to work on she's spending the weekend trying to finish her med school application.
Oh, yeah.
But her adorable little boyfriend keeps distracting her.
Is her boyfriend, is that Christopher Gorham?
It is.
All right, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Christopher Gorham, and I was going to look it up, and I forgot, and I just thought about it right now. It's like a young Christopher Gorham. It's like pre-anything we know him from.
I mean, this is a few years before Out of Practice.
And this is like before Jake 2.0 or whatever it was, and all that other stuff. And he was like just a side character. Like, this is like... He's not in the main credits, right?
No, not at all. He's a guest star.
And he just happens to be dating Elena, or like, it's like the very beginning of their relationship, right? It's like the early beginnings.
They're dating each other, but they're very different people. Like, I don't see how these two ended up dating at all.
Well, because like Elena's like super smart, and this guy is kind of like an oaf. So I feel like, you know what? He's probably got like good dick, and she's like just there for the ride. He knows like a tongue move that she likes, that she really likes. You know what? Takes the stress off when she's studying for the MCATs.
You gotta do what you gotta do to relieve stress.
All right. You ready? You ready to get into this world? You ready to get into the hot world of Felicity,
Yes.
The Last Thanksgiving? Because this is kind of...
It's a very wild ride.
We're at a point in the show where everyone, including the main character, Felicity, played by Keri Russell, they're in like a deep funk. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they're just all so insufferable in this episode. Like,
I mean, it's their senior... Most of them are still in college.
Noel's, like, a year out, and he's, like, struggling to find a job, so he's kind of...
And figure out what the hell he wants to do with his life, and he's just... Noel's a hot mess.
Yeah,
Noel is, like, the biggest hot mess we could get in 2002 TV.
Yeah, and he's just kind of, like, bouncing from job to job. That's the kind of impression that I got. Like, he can't stay at a job.
And he's like hooking up with random women,
getting drunk,
drinking a lot. He's just a mess.
Getting handcuffed to beds.
Yeah.
At like sleazy hotels, and he has to like, I don't know, like pick up the phone with his like fucking foot and with his long foot and call the fucking hotel manager.
And like hope his brother can find him.
Yeah, because we're at a time where like cell phones are prehistoric pretty much. So it's like, you know what?
I mean, like, they exist, but they're still expensive, and you have all these weird, random extra charges.
Yeah.
Texting isn't a thing yet.
Yeah, and Noel's brother's getting a call before 7 p.m. before like free nights and weekends. So he's like, I ain't answering that fucking phone. That's gonna cost me like $40.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a strange number I don't know. And it's the fucking hotel, and Noel's fucking tied up naked in a hotel room with a lampshade over his privates.
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
You know that bitch still like everything. Like he probably had like $40 in the wallet. That's like his last $40 till I don't know. He gets like his unemployment check the next week.
For real.
He was gonna buy like a sweet Christmas present for Felicity, like maybe a gift card to fucking I don't know the art store so she can buy some pencils.
The art supply store.
Yeah, those like really cool pencils that she likes with like the soft grip. Doesn't hurt her fucking hands. All right, so that's Noel. Like that's kind of like I feel like we get a like there's two B storylines in this episode. It's Elena applying for med school, and then it's like Noel struggling to survive, but his brother's in town for the weekend. His brother Ryan, who's kind of like not really in that many scenes. Like he meets everybody, and that's it, really.
Like the brothers in town, and like they're supposed to get dinner together at like 5,
And he never shows up.
but like Noel wanders off and leaves him alone in the city.
Yeah, he's just like roaming around New York by himself. Like I don't know, he's probably going to like seeing all the sights. He's probably going to like Times Square. He's going to the Macy's, and
There's a confusion over whether or not he can park in a certain spot because there's like all these rules posted, and it's like, can I park here? I was like, I think so.
it's city signs. It's like you can park on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but you can't park between like 8 and 9. But on like Tuesdays they do street sweeping, and then on like Fridays is a parade. I don't know, it's confusing. And like now we're on like holiday rules.
Yeah.
Like holidays like changes everything, so you're never sure. So like, that's the beginning of the episode. He parks, and Noel's like, "Yeah, it's fine. You can park here." And at the end, he gets like a I don't know, like a $300 ticket because it's probably the price of the ticket. Let's be real.
Yeah.
If parking ticket's $100 in Boston, then New York City it's going to be like triple.
Okay, so we start the day before Thanksgiving. Megan and Felicity are on the phone. You know, Megan's like, "Oh, I made a love spell. You better get back together this weekend." Felicity's like, "Huh?" And while Megan's on the phone with Felicity, Sean comes in, and he's got a big giant frozen turkey that he won at the market for being the 100th customer for the day or something.
I want to point something out really funny. Megan's spell is in like she's like making it in like a gigantic like pot. Like what the fuck was she like? What was she putting in there? Like how much did she need?
I don't want to know.
She just said like I don't know, like lavender, like a strand of your hair and a strand of Ben's hair that she probably like grabbed from like their bathroom, probably making their brush or something. But I'm like how much like chemicals or whatever concoctions ingredients do you have to put in this thing? Like can't you just put it in like a little like saucepan? And is this the same like pot that they're going to use for Thanksgiving dinner later on?
I mean,
I didn't see a dishwasher in there, and I feel like Greg Grunberg's not really doing dishes, and I feel like Megan's got she's gonna be working a spell all night. She ain't got time to be washing dishes.
Well, here's the thing, like, because Sean comes in, and like, oh crap, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. How do you not know that Thanksgiving is like the next day?
You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. When you get to like a certain point, I don't know where they are in life. But when you get to like a certain point, you just kind of like forget what day it is. And you're like, oh shit, it's Tuesday. Thanksgiving's Thursday. And like you forgot. And you got to like pull all this shit together. Like you didn't go to the store. You didn't go buy your fucking bottles of wine that you have to distribute. Or like it's like Christmas. Like you forgot to buy gifts and shit like that. It's like Secret Santa.
I just feel like, was Felicity going to show up to class on Thursday?
She might have.
And be like, where is everybody?
All right. We're at a point. So Felicity and Ben were dating, and then Felicity accidentally fucked Noel one night, and then Ben found out. She's been thinking about that. You know, that's been on her mind. She hasn't been like I don't know. She probably hasn't been keeping up with her studies, with her arts class, or either that. All of her patrons are dark and moody.
Yeah, probably.
She's probably been like drinking a lot. I feel like there's a lot of nights like her just chilling in her cool room. She's got a little bottle of like Pinot. I feel like she's a Pinot drinker.
Yeah, probably.
She's got a bottle at all times, like on a little coffee table thing in her room, on her easel, next to her easel. And she just forgot, and, you know... Wait, so, hold on. Felicity and Megan don't live together, right?
Right. Megan and Sean are married, and they live in the loft with Noel and Ben, because why the fuck not?
And then Felicity lives with Elena and some other randos, right?
Who have gone home for the weekend.
Yeah, they had places to be. You know, they have their shit together. They're not in a funk. They're not in a crazy funk.
Yeah, so like, oh, our roommates are gone. What are we gonna do for Thanksgiving? Like,
You know what? I feel like Felicity doesn't really care about holidays. I feel like she's not big into it. That just gathered from this episode. Just pulling the facts from this episode. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. And like no one else is really into it either. Like even like Noel's brother comes into town.
like they all forgot. That's the thing, is they all forgot. Like the only one who seemed to know was fucking Noel.
Hold on. Do you think that Megan did like a forgettable spell, like a forgetful spell, like a week before?
Maybe that's what the spell actually was. Everybody forgot Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like she fucked up. Like she put, you know what? Maybe she grabbed the brush out of Felicity's bathroom and she thought it would have like her hair and Ben's hair, but it was like everybody else's hair because everyone's always over like combing their hair.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Like she's like, it's like in the shower drain and she thought it would be Felicity. I mean, I'm sure like you could figure out Felicity's hair. It's very like long, blonde, and curly. And I feel like Ben's hair is like a lightish, brownish, blondish color, but you know what? Like, if you're looking at an individual strand,
their hair color is very similar.
Maybe Greg Grunberg has like a similar light strand, and maybe he went over to Felicity's to shower one day. I don't know. Maybe he was like at the gym, and he was on his way out to the bar, and Felicity's house was closer, and he wanted to wash off, but he doesn't like to shower in public. He's a little like self-conscious.
Yeah.
So he just knows he can stop by Felicity's, wash his twigs and berries, and like head out to the bar, and everything's copacetic. Megan has a key, and she's like sneaking in and just grabbing strands of hair, like, and she grabs like, you know what? There's a gust of wind, and it changes the page of the spell book, and it changes it from like the love spell to the forgettable spell, and she throws in the wrong ingredient, and all of a sudden everyone forgets it's Thanksgiving. That's my hot theory.
They're all like shocked that Thanksgiving's the next day. None of them have any clue what to do. So first Megan's like, oh, we'll host Thanksgiving. And then Sean's like, we can't do that. We can't do that with Ben and Noel and Felicity. Yeah,
that's gotta be awkward.
So they decide to host it at Felicity's.
Like they just tell her they're gonna have it.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's like, okay. So then she has to tell, like, Elena and shit, we're having Thanksgiving. And Elena's like, wait, what, Thanksgiving's here? Like, girl, why do you think you had 3 days off from school?
Well, I mean, she's like in application phase. She's probably gonna write a lot of essays, like about me's and stuff, and getting all her resumes together. And then like her boyfriend is like, I guess he just started like school again, so he's like back in English Comp 1, and he's just like, he's reading a Cliff Notes of War and Peace, which is like my go-to podcast, like old-timey book, which I thought was great, like tie-in. She's like, Elena's just like, you have to get. You're in English Comp 1 and you're in like your senior year of college? And he's like, yeah, I dropped out of English Comp 1 and I don't know, all of a sudden I found out it was a requirement to graduate. So here I am reading the Cliff Note of War and Peace. I'm going to throw this out there. We didn't really read books in English Comp.
Yeah, we didn't read books in English Comp. We had to read articles and then write papers about them. And
then in English Comp 2, we read like excerpts from books, but not actual books. Like that was more like literature class. And they specified English Comp 1. So
yeah, like in my English Comp classes we had to write papers on articles, or like they had this book they put together. Like the school put together a textbook of articles for the English Comp classes.
Oh yeah.
So like you had that book for your English Comp classes. And then maybe in Comp 2 you also had to buy a copy of The Lost Boys, the book about all the boys who did the school shootings in the 90s.
Oh, I didn't do anything like that.
Write about one of those boys.
I wrote about, we had to do, who's the guy who wrote like Sleepy Hollow, like Washington Irving? We had to like write about excerpts from like one of his books.
See, that was my like American literature class.
Maybe I'm confusing the two. I don't know, to be honest with you. I can't remember. It's been a while. I just remember not reading books. I never had to read War and Peace. Let's be like, I'm just going to throw that out there.
I never had to read it either.
Like, that was like a high school thing.
Yeah, I never had to read it in high school either.
We had to pick a classic, and it was like War and Peace, Of Mice and Men, I started to pick up Mice and Men, but it was like because it was shorter, but it was more difficult to read. And then I went with War and Peace because someone said it was a little bit easier, even, but it was longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still confused. And I think I had the Cliff's Note, and I think I had like this was like 98, 99, so you could just like easily go online and plagiarize very easily back in the day.
Before it was easy to catch.
Yeah, before they like search websites. All right, Elena's like watching her boyfriend, whose name I don't even know, Christopher Gorham.
I don't remember his name either.
And she's like not impressed. She goes to I think she like talks to Megan about this, or I can't remember. She talks to one of the other girls about this, and she talks to Megan because she's like, Megan, I'm gonna be in med school next year, and she's like, I'm dating this guy, and he's reading. He's like, he wanted to go to the bookstore on Thanksgiving. Yes, on Thanksgiving the bookstore's open to get a Cliff Note of War and Peace, and Megan's like, whoa, fucking stop the press.
Yeah.
Stop everything. You need to give this guy the test.
Oh my God.
She's like, the what? And she like hands her a piece of paper that's like handwritten. It's like a handwritten piece of paper.
It really is.
And it's like a Cosmo quiz. Like that's like all it is really. like a fucking sassy magazine like 1994 that you know what? She probably didn't have a photocopier, like access to a photocopy machine or a mimeograph. So she just like hand wrote it like in a notebook when she was in like, I don't know, like 9th grade.
Oh my God, I could totally see Megan with like a copy of like Sassy or 17 or YM like writing out these questions to ask a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, she wrote them out and she kept it all these years. And like anytime she like gets a cool like gal pal who's struggling in the boyfriend department, she's like, hold on. And she pulls out her like middle school notebook. She's got like I don't know, she's got like a little folder, I bet, of like all her old quizzes. Like, she probably has a quiz or a spell for like every reason that she wrote when she was like into the craft and I don't know, gossip. I feel like there's like a Venn diagram of Megan where she was like into like 17 magazine and Nev Campbell, and it just kind of like intertwined at one point. And Megan's the circle. She's like the center circle.
Like, the fact that she just has a copy to give out is amazing.
Oh, yeah, I love it. So she hands Elena this, like, copy, and Elena's like, you know what, low-key, I'm going to give it to Elena for, like, organically bringing up these questions. Like, it's not like she just, like, flat out asked it.
It's not like she quizzed him, like, on the spot. She, like, would slip them into conversation as if she was just having, like, a brain fart, and he'd be like...
Yeah, she's like... She's like, oh, I'm, like, freaking out because, like... I don't know, what planet's in retrograde right now? She's like, it's the two that's between the Earth and the Sun. And he's like, I don't know, Mars and Jupiter or something. And she's like, oh.
He does not do very well on these questions. But the best part is, because they're doing it throughout the day. So, like, she asks two very close to each other. And it, like, clicks with Sean. Sean's like, oh, shit, you're giving him the test? And he, like, freaks out and, like, calls the whole thing out in the middle of dinner.
Yeah, fuck Sean. Jesus Christ, Greg Ronberg. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, so I guess Megan gave the test to Sean, I guess, before they got married at some point. And she told him about it, I'm guessing? Like, after the test?
Yeah. You passed the test, and he's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Or you know what? Maybe he found the test one day and he was like, what's this? And she's like, oh, that's like my boyfriend test. And he's like, oh. And then he's like, well, did you ask me? And she's like, yeah, you passed with flying colors because you're a smart man, I think. But I loved, like, during the Thanksgiving, throughout the episode, Elena would ask her boyfriend the questions. He would answer them wrong, and then Greg Grunberg would answer them correctly, like, right away. Yeah. And Elena would just, like... She'd get this, like, pissed off look, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah, she was not happy.
Yeah, she's like, I always thought of Greg Grunberg as a big dummy, but look at him. He fucking, I don't know, he knows, like, the capital of Washington is Olympia, not Seattle, or fucking Eugene or something.
Eugene is in Oregon.
I know, which is why I thought it was funny, because I think Elena's boyfriend says, like, a Oregon City for some reason. I don't know. Elena's boyfriend, like, finds out about the test, and he, like, loses his shit. Rightfully so. He, like, loses his shit, and he's like, you know what? You're too good for me. He's like, you're gonna be, like, dissecting fucking cadavers, next fucking fall. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing. I can barely pass English Comp 1. Like, I'm probably going to be still in it. Probably going to be retaking it over in, like, college overtime. I'm going to be, like, 29. I'm still going to be at this damn school trying to finish my fucking prereqs. And you're going to be, like, in residency. I don't know. What does she want to be? Like a surgeon? I don't fucking really know.
I don't. She just want to be a doctor. That's all I know.
I don't know. Spoiler alert. She, like, dies in a car accident a few episodes later. But then she's still alive in the series finale.
Well, that's because Felicity goes back in time.
And she, like, changes a detail, right?
Yeah, so Felicity goes back in time, sticks with pre-med instead of art, and chooses to be with Noel instead of Ben.
Chain of events keeps Elena alive, right?
Yeah.
The last episode, it's established that Felicity may have had a fever, and, like, those, like, series of episodes might have been fake?
Fever dream?
I don't know. I have a theory that's going to tie it into the J.J. Abrams verse. We'll get to it at the end. We'll get to it for the last act, the last hurrah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much Elena's story. I think she ends up, like, patching things up with Dum Dum.
Yeah, she basically blames it on the stress of her application process.
They keep it real, right? He's, like, all right with it at the end. She's like, you know what? I'm stressed. And Mercury's in retrograde, and yes, Dum Dum, Mercury is the first planet. Not fucking, I don't know, Mars, what the fuck he said.
They're good. Okay, so that's really basically it. Noel's brother comes down for Thanksgiving because apparently Noel's the only one who remembered it was Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna hang out with my brother. We're gonna go to, like, some fancy place for dinner. I made reservations.
Yeah, he's, like, off for bro time, bro corner. They're gonna get together.
For some reason, Noel wanders into a bar, picks up, like, some sketchy lady, goes back to a hotel room with her, and ends up handcuffed to the bed with just a lampshade covering his dick.
Yeah, and she's gone. She's gone with his clothes, with his wallet, with his fucking everything. His sperm. She probably stole his sperm, maybe a kidney. We don't know.
I mean, he didn't wake up in an ice bath.
This is the WB version. If this was on Netflix, we would have had fucking Noel in a fucking ice bath.
If this was on Netflix, we would have seen stuff. There would have been no lampshade.
I feel like this lady was working with fucking James Widmore, or whatever his name is, from Lost.
Oh my god. So it just shows that Noel is in this total hot mess, fucked up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. I actually kind of liked Noel's brother. I kind of wish we got, like, a little bit more of him. Like, he wasn't hateable. He wasn't 100% likable, but he had some points.
He was just there.
He was just there to highlight, like, Noel's shittiness, and I was like, you know what? I like this guy. Why is he not part of the show?
Yeah, for real.
So you want to get to the big story? You want to do the big huzzah?
Yeah, the big story is Felicity and Ben. They're broken up because she screwed around with Noel. And Ben's dad has, like, a liver disease, and he's in the hospital, basically in a coma. His dad's played by John Ritter.
Probably, like, his, like, last roles, right? This is probably...
No, because he still had 8 Simple Rules.
So he was, like, doing double time, right?
I feel like 8 Simple Rules was, like, the next year.
Wait, no, he died in 2002, right? Or 03. Is it 03? He died September 11th,
03.
03, all right. So we still got a few months left of our boy, John Ritter.
Yeah.
So he probably pops in when he can, you know, when he's not hanging out with Katie Seagal.
And Kaylee Cuoco.
They probably film, like, near each other, so he, like, comes over, and he does, like, a cameo or two.
Yeah, he's in a few episodes after this because...
He ain't dead yet.
Yeah, he like, recovers, but the dad is involved with Lauren, the older lady that Ben brings to dinner.
All right, so Ben's dad is in AA, and he meets this girl, Lauren, played by actress Lisa Edelstein, who's, like, my new favorite actress. But she was my favorite character in this episode, and, like, she's in 6 more episodes. I was, like, really hoping she'd be in a lot more. Like, I feel like she deserves more.
I read up on, like, what happens after this, and it's wild.
What happens? I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
Like, okay, so she and Ben hook up. The dad gets better. She finds out she's pregnant, but Ben's back together with Felicity, and they're engaged and gonna get married, but he wants to be a parent to the kid, and she's like, well, I'm gonna move to Arizona and have the baby, and he's like, no, I want to be involved in its life.
So she dips out.
And then Felicity travels back in time.
Undoes it all.
Yeah.
Ben, I guess, has been, like, on the down low, been hanging around with this girl who goes to AA with his dad.
Yeah.
He was gonna spend Thanksgiving at the hospital with his dad, who's in a coma.
Yeah.
He got invited to Felicity's Thanksgiving extravaganza, but he's like, oh, fuck no, I am not going to that. Hell no. Like, it's going to be a shit show.
He's like, I'm not dealing with that drama.
And I think they even worked together that day, and she's like, hey, Ben, can we talk? And he's like, no. He's like, he comes into work. He literally, like, comes into work late. Felicity's, like, dealing with a customer, and she just drops the customer and goes to talk to Ben, and then he leaves to go to the hospital to see his dad. I'm like, did he just work for like a minute?
Worst coffee shop ever.
Yeah, Felicity's customer didn't get his coffee. Then Ben immediately clocks out and goes to the hospital. He's like in uniform, so like he intended on working, I guess. Unless like maybe he didn't know Felicity was working.
Yeah, I think he just couldn't deal with Felicity.
Yeah, you know what? He probably didn't realize Felicity was working, and he came in, he was like, fuck. He's like, you know what? I switched a bunch of shifts around.
Because he didn't check the schedule. It's not like the schedule's not posted or something.
You know what? He probably looked at the schedule and he switched a bunch of shifts around to like work opposite Felicity. And then Felicity being like shifty, you know how she is.
Yeah.
You know how we know her. She's traveled across the country.
Oh, yeah.
She changed, she swapped with somebody, so now they're on like the same like Thanksgiving morning block. And he walked in, he's like, oh, fuck. So then like he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
He went to his boss, like the shift manager that day, and was like, hey, he pulled like my dad's in the hospital card. Like I was, on my way over here, and like, I don't know, like the doc just called. He had a turn for the worse. So, I should probably go see him. And she's like, all right, yeah, take your time. Felicity's got it. She can take care of it. She's worked here for 4 years. She's like the senior member. And he takes off. He bumps into Lauren. Lauren's at the hospital, I think, visiting him too. Because I think she's from out of town. Like, she just moved to the city, right? She's like new to New York.
Yeah, like she just moved to the city. His dad was like the only person she knew. Or something like.
My theory is wherever she lived before, she had like a falling out with everybody, and she's like, I want a new start. She kind of like had like a Felicity, Jennifer Love Hewitt wave of emotions, and she's like, I'm going to move across the country. She moves to New York. She decides to enroll in AAA. The first person she meets is John Ritter, and I don't know. They have fun times. You know what? They probably like they complement each other. They're probably like the yin yang. They're both like the round pegs and the round hole, and they fit.
Yeah.
So she's like kind of into it, and then she like meets his son. She's like, oh wow, like he's a little bit closer to my age, I think. I don't really know. We don't know how old Lauren is.
I feel like there's probably the same like difference on both sides.
Ben proposes the idea of going to like the hospital cafeteria and getting some dinner. They probably have some kind of like, I don't know, grade F turkey meat serving up.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? We eat that shit like every day. It's Thanksgiving. Let's just like go to a restaurant. And he's like, well, you know what? I kind of got like invited to this thing, but I don't really want to go. And she's like, no, let's go. And he's like, it's kind of like my ex-girlfriend. And she's like, oh, we're going. She's like, we're fucking totally going. And he's like, all right, let's go.
Like she's down for some drama.
It's not like he decides to call up and he's like, hey, I'm bringing in another person. Like, I feel like food prep wise, maybe they should have given a heads up, like how many people are coming.
Because really, nobody knows how many people are coming. They're only doing this because Sean accidentally won a turkey. They would have all forgotten about it. They'd all be like eating ramen if otherwise.
So they only eating turkey? Is like that's all they're having?
No, they had like a whole spread.
There was never like a formal head count, so they don't really know like how many people are coming. So I feel like nobody knows how much food to make.
Oh yeah, none at all.
And they're not doing like the, hey, like why doesn't everyone make one dish? And it'll work out fine, then we'll all have food.
I think it was like Megan was like, if you host, I'll do all the cooking.
So, yeah, well, she had, like, the turkey, and then she had, like, another, like, bag of things with her. Just one bag, though. So she probably had, like, some cranberry sauce, maybe some yams.
Maybe a can of green beans and cran mushroom soup to make some casserole.
Yeah, and then probably one of those, like, Pillsbury, like, frozen apple pies that you just throw in, and then they're done in, like, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Bitch can make a fucking time travel spell, but she can't fucking make an apple pie.
She can't bake pie.
They managed to throw it together, I don't know, like by the magic of TV Thanksgiving. They throw it all together. It's like a lovely spread. Everyone just kind of like drops in like one by one. Elena's there with her boyfriend. Like Ben walks in with Lauren and they're all like, whoa. Who's that?
They're like, oh shit. First of all, Ben showed up and he brought another girl with him.
Lauren and Felicity kind of have like a they kind of have like a gal pal moment. They kind of are like, hey, like,
yeah,
we get each other, right? They kind of have like one of those things.
Like they kind of have a moment before like Ben and Felicity finally talk and then they have sex.
Well, before that happens, Megan's kind of like standoffish about this whole thing, right?
Megan is like, oh hell no, bitch. I have a spell in the works. We are not doing this. You are not interfering with my spell.
Megan kind of puts the spotlight on Lauren. She gets kind of like standoffish with her because I think like Felicity's like asking for Ben to pass over like the yams, but Ben doesn't hear Felicity.
Yeah, and he's just ignoring her.
Well, he's in
like she does not exist.
Well, he's in like deep convo with Lauren though, and then Megan's like, Felicity said to pass the yams. Now pass the yams, and Lauren's like, oh, like here you go, and she's like, no, I didn't say for you to do it. And it's wild. It's just a wild moment in time. So yeah. Ben's like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking leave, and they leave. Felicity like retreats to her room. She's like, worst Thanksgiving ever.
Oh, whatever, Felicity.
Oh, poor me. Yeah, she pulls out her fucking pastel colors and she's making an oil painting of something, maybe like a dark cloud. And
I can't believe I followed this boy to New York to be treated this way.
Where's Noel? No, because Noel didn't show up because he's fucking tied to a fucking hotel bed.
Noel was having his own adventure.
Ben and Lauren, they're like out in the city. They're like walking around. It's Thanksgiving night. They're like, I don't know, they're like Rockefeller Plaza or something. I don't know where the fuck they are. They're somewhere. Lauren's like, hey, you know what? What happened back there? He kind of like lays out the history of them. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. I think you know where you need to be. I'm going to go home and watch a fucking Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I'm going to curl up with not with a bottle of wine, with a bottle of fucking seltzer water. Watch a Charlie Brown Christmas. Maybe I'll call like my girlfriend from high school. Maybe we'll catch up, see what's going on in the hometown. Local scandals are happening in fucking Des Moines or wherever she's from.
Yeah.
And Ben goes back. He shows up at Felicity's apartment. He like sneaks in. No one else sees her like come in. He goes into her room. She's fucking painting or something. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. And then, I don't know. We kind of get like a cut scene. Then it like cuts back and I don't know. They're like naked under the covers, under the blankies.
You know, L-shaped blanket and all that.
And I think Sean and Megan were like, hey, where's Felicity? And they were like, oh, she's in a room. And I think like Sean went in and he's like, oh my God, Ben's here. Ben's here. Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
And Megan has like a smirk. She's like, ooh, my spell worked. She's like, I knew it would work. You know how like they always say like something bad happens for it to be good? I don't know. So I think like we had that whole thing, triangle of fun.
Yeah.
I guess they're back together, right? Or for the moment anyway.
Yeah, they had to like a hop like 5 minutes or something. They weren't very loud. It was quick and quiet.
I feel like Ben had it's been a while for Ben.
Yeah.
Building up. He had a nice wad and as soon as he stuck it in, it was like scary movie. Felicity floats to the ceiling, gets trapped up in goo. I
feel like in that apartment, you would have heard something. But, like, her room is, like, shut off by French doors.
They're paper thin. You know what? If they had the light on in the room, you could see the shadows.
I just don't think quiet sex is good sex.
I don't know. You know what? They've lived in a dorm.
So they're used to holding back.
Yeah, they're holding back. Unless, like, you know, like Megan went out for the night. She went down to, like, the Wiccan store to buy some fucking Eye of Newt or something.
Pick up some candles.
The RA here. Noel hears it. He's like, what's going on in there? well, actually, Felicity would have been with Noel, right? I don't know. I don't know the timeline, to be honest with you.
I don't know No, she actually dated Ben. I don't think she and Noel ever actually dated.
All right, hold on.
I'm not sure.
We got to do a Lauren corner, the actress Lisa Edelstein, because her filmography is wild.
She's been in, like, everything.
The role that she's mostly known for is she was the lady doctor on House. She started off as, like, the rival of House, and then they became, like, lovers at the end or something. Like, I can't remember.
Oh, of course.
I only watched, like, the first few seasons of House. She played a call girl turned Rob Lowe's date on The West Wing.
Okay.
She was an assigned male-at-birth transgender woman on Ally McBeal.
Okay.
She obviously was Ben's girlfriend on Felicity. She had guest stars on ER, Frasier, Just Shoot Me, Without a Trace, Judge and Amy. She's been in the movies What Women Want, Keeping the Faith, As Good as It Gets, Daddy Daycare. She's on Bravo's Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. She even does voice work. She's been on King of the Hill, American Dad, Superman, the animated series. She played Mercy Graves, Lex Luthor's bodyguard, which she reprised in several episodes of Justice League. And I think this is my favorite TV appearance of her. She is George Costanza's girlfriend in the episode in which George's girlfriend does that, like, ultimatum where... because she thought that George was spending too much time with Jerry, so she's like, it's either Jerry or me, George. It's either Jerry or me. Mm-hmm. She's that girl, which I thought was fucking wild.
The choice is obvious, lady.
As I was watching this, I'm like, this girl is familiar. I'm like, who like, who is she? Like,
Yeah.
like it just opened up this like Pandora's box of appearances.
Yeah, she's been in so much stuff. You see her everywhere. She's one of those faces.
Her most recent credit is 911 Lone Star. She has a recurring role on that. So she like this is something that she's like still doing.
On the new Rob Lowe show.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was Rob Lowe's call girl turned boyfriend, so they have a history. They have a hot history. And what did you say she was in? Did you say she was in a J.J. Abrams movie? I thought you said.
I don't remember anymore.
It doesn't matter. All right, so that's my Lauren corner. We're going down Lauren Lane. So you ready for? I mean, that's pretty much the episode, right? We kind of.
That's the episode. That's the episode.
Do you want to go down controversy corner?
Yeah, let's talk controversy.
Season 1, the show was. It wasn't like Dawson's Creek level of a hit, but it was. It was a modest hit for the WB. It was big. They had that huge marketing promo. It was everywhere. People checked it out. I think it started with high ratings, and it kind of maintained itself over the year. It had its audience.
Yeah.
Over the summer between season 1 and season 2, Keri Russell had found like a wig, like a short-haired wig, and she like put it on, and she like took a picture of it, and she sent it to like J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, who are the producers. And she's like, LOL, like I cut my hair. She was known for her hair. She stood out.
Yes. She has those gorgeous curls that are difficult to maintain, but they're just so perfect.
And she sent it as a joke to JJ and Matt Reeves, and JJ is like, you know what? He's like, I like low-key actually kind of like it. Because he's like, it kind of like fits in with the storyline because like you had such a tough first year at college. And, you know, usually like, you know, look at Britney Spears, like she kind of goes through emotional turmoil and she shaves her head. So
that's years later, hun.
I don't know, but like I'm just doing a comparison.
I know. I'm just saying.
Felicity is like the original Britney Spears. And she had like a tough first year, right?
Yeah.
First year kind of rough. They're like, why don't you like really cut your hair? And she gets like that Justin Timberlake ramen noodle haircut. It's like the short fucking curly locks. It still looks good.
Yeah.
It fits her face. Like it's not a horrible haircut.
It fits her, yeah.
But for some reason, like her fans, like the Felicity fan base, like revolted.
And then nobody was allowed to get a haircut.
They refused to watch the show because Keri Russell got a haircut and like ratings dropped, ratings like plummeted, like they moved the show to like another night.
Barry Watson, James Vanderbeek, Joshua Jackson, Katie Holmes, like nobody else could get a haircut. Like there's a reason why there's a point where on Seventh Heaven, Matt Camden's hair is just ridiculously long. He always had long hair, but like it got really long for a while because they wouldn't let him cut it.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, like Joey Lawrence on Blossom had long hair, but because he was young.
Yeah.
But he gets a little bit older and it's not in style anymore, so he's got to kind of keep up with the times. He's gonna chop it.
And now he shaves his head.
Yeah, same thing with like Sean on Boy Meets World in the first few seasons, but then he kind of, you know, he gets like the modern male cut in the later seasons.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like something happened with Felicity and it's like, no, like nobody on the WB can like cut their hair anymore. Well, I'm guessing Sarah Michelle Gellar wore a wig in Cruel Intentions. Is that?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. That was pre-Felicity. Because I remember on Dawson's Creek, like the next season, they were like, we gotta let these guys cut their hair because it looks ridiculous. Like there was a whole thing with Dawson and Pacey going and getting haircuts.
Like they actually like had a scene of them at the barbershop with like the barber pole and everything.
And then like I remember, I think there was even like when Matt got to cut his hair on Seventh Heaven, it was like this thing where Annie was like, oh Matt, you look so good.
To add fuel to the fire, I guess at one point I think the producers wanted Keri Russell to wear like extensions to make her hair longer, and she's like, oh no, like I am not wearing fucking hair extensions. She's like, we're gonna let this bad boy grow back out on its own. It'll take a couple months, it'll take a little while, but that's life.
If she had flat ironed her hair, it would have been way longer.
She wears a lot of wigs on The Americans. I'm just gonna throw this out there. So we've seen Keri Russell with different hairstyles. So like, I don't know, was that like tongue-in-cheek joke? I
mean, she definitely straightens her hair now. It's far more relaxed.
Part of me feels like in her real life that's comfortable for her is the flat hair. I'm guessing when she auditioned for Felicity, maybe her hair was like in its natural curly state.
She wore her hair like that for years.
Maybe she stood out. People remembered it.
Oh yeah, she definitely stood out with that hair. Like, she had that hair for a very long time. She started wearing it a little looser around Waitress. Well, I mean, I flat ironed my hair and my hair is curly too, so. Curly hair is a bitch.
That's the hair controversy. Are you ready for the writer's age controversy? Do you know this story?
Ooh, I know about this one.
This one's wild.
Where, like, season 1, there's this female writer for the show who convinces everybody that she's a recent high school, like, graduate.
Yeah. Her name is Riley Weston. She started out as an actress. She went by, like, a different name, Kimberly Seaman. That was, like, her real name.
Mm-hmm.
And her last name was Seaman. So, like, you know, she's like, that ain't gonna sell fucking tickets.
Yeah.
In the late 80s, early 90s, she kind of made the rounds. She was in, like, Girl in Pains, Who's the Boss, Third Rock, Sister Act 2, all these other things. She kind of, like, made the rounds. But, like,
yeah,
she, like, I guess writing was her passion.
Mm-hmm.
That was her thing. So she started writing, like, spec scripts of, I guess, Felicity. I don't really know.
That's teen dramas, I think.
Teen dramas. So, like, she sent something into the WB.
Yeah, I think so. I think she created this whole persona where she had her husband pretend to be her older brother. And so she created this whole persona where she was, like, a recent high school graduate, but, like, she wrote these poignant scripts, and, like, they fell for it and hired her on Felicity to be a scriptwriter.
Yeah, she wrote, like, a good number of episodes, because I think they were like, wow, I can't believe a 19-year-old has this insight, wisdom of, like, what it's like to be a college student and go through all this experience that Felicity's going through.
Yeah.
She got named in Entertainment Weekly's October 1998 list of the 100 most creative people in entertainment, and they described her as an up-and-coming 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And then Disney wanted her. They scooped her up. They offered her a $500,000 screenwriting deal with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment Tonight was like, ooh, like, we need to know more about this girl. So they started putting together a segment about her. And I don't know, like, whoever, like, the production assistant or the writer, whoever, the reporter,
Mm-hmm.
just started, like, pulling at little threads that didn't need to get pulled at. Wait a second. Hold on. Stop the fucking presses. They're like, this bitch ain't 19. She's like a 28-year-old woman.
Dude, she was 32. I found the LA Times article on it.
She's a fucking grown-ass woman. She's got a husband.
She thought it was acceptable because it's an accepted practice for actresses to lie about their age.
That is true. So as a result, Disney let go of her, and then when her contract with the WB expired, they just didn't renew it. They just, like, let her go. I think,
Yeah.
like, I think she still, like, worked on other WB shows for a little bit. They were just like, all right, you know what? You're done. This kind of, like, sparked a discussion about age bias. So I guess Weston herself is quoted as saying, if I were getting a job in any other industry, no one would ever ask, like, how old I am. Like, it's not a thing that comes up. But because I'm writing for a TV show, it's important that I not be 32 years old. So, I don't know. Good for her. So, she continues to work today as an actress, singer, author, and a voiceover artist. She's written books, novels, all kinds of things. So, she's still out there. I just don't think she writes screenplays anymore. I think she's kind of done with that world.
You're dead, girl.
Who's that other girl, like, that's never in things anymore?
I need more to go off of to...
Ashley Judd. Like, Ashley Judd never appears in things anymore.
Isn't, like, Ashley Judd, like, in politics now? I feel like she ran for, like, a Republican seat. Like, I mean, to be fair, Ashley Judd was everywhere for the longest time, and then she kind of dropped out of stuff.
I guess Peter Jackson wanted to cast Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino in the Lord of the Ring movies. And Miramax was like, no, like, you cannot put those two people in these movies. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, no one wanted to work with Ashley Judd anymore or Mira Sorvino. Like, you never see them anymore. They're going to be stars. They're going to be, like, superstars.
Oh, no, she got involved in the Democratic side.
Yeah. Her political activities, she supported Barack Obama's 2008 campaign. She got involved in the Wildlife Action Fund. She condemned Sarah Palin for supporting wolf hunting.
I feel like she's the last celebrity. She was like one of the first celebrities to really speak out politically, but she got blackballed because of it. Which is wild because all these celebrities won't shut the hell up about their political opinions now.
Someone had to, walk an inch for everyone else to walk a mile, and Ashley Judd took the bullet for that one. Good for her, I guess. She's a humanitarian. She goes to, like, the Congo, and, she's trying to end crimes against humanity and genocide, and so good for her. Shout out to her. I don't know what that has to do with Felicity. Nothing.
That's why people listen to the podcast. We're a hot mess like Noel.
Yeah, we're the Knowles of podcasts. All right. I have a very, very important question for you. Unless you have anything to add to any of this.
I have nothing else to add.
All right. On a scale of 1 out of 5 sudden haircuts, how many sudden haircuts would you give this episode of Felicity, The Last Thanksgiving from 2002? I thought about this. You want me to go first? You want to give mine? You can base it on mine.
Yeah, you go first.
I didn't really enjoy the episode per se. I didn't really enjoy the characters.
Mm-hmm.
From a nostalgic angle, I was kind of like, oh, you know what? It's kind of fun to like revisit Felicity, even though I never really finished Felicity.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
So
2.5 sudden haircuts.
That's what I'm giving it to. It's an okay episode. It's not even like a great episode of Felicity. It's just, it exists.
I feel like it's a set piece episode. It was kind of like setting up future storylines.
Yeah.
We've talked about in the past how like holiday episodes always kind of like summarize recent events.
Yeah.
And I feel like this episode was kind of end of the first half of season 4, and then was kind of like setting us up for the rest of season 4.
It's setting up for the transition into the rest of season 4, into like the middle of season 4.
Yeah, because
like I feel like you can think of season 4 in 3 kind of categories, like up until Thanksgiving, then everything after Thanksgiving until the time travel, and then the time travel.
Yeah, because I believe the show, like, they didn't know the show was going to get canceled. It was kind of like, they knew it was on the bubble, and I think when they got the word, they actually, like, wrote a final episode. Like, there is, like, a final episode, and then the WB wanted, like, 4 more episodes for some reason, so they were like, oh, what the fuck should we do? And then J.J. Abrams was like, I have an idea. Let's have Felicity go back in time and just undo the things that she was upset about. And they kind of went with that. Like any other show, I think it would not work. But because of J.J. Abrams' like fascination with just bizarre things, I think it makes sense to me. Like I wasn't surprised when I read about this or when I seen these episodes way back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like it makes sense. Because I think Alias kind of starts out the same way. It's kind of like the show that exists in reality, but then it just goes kind of off onto another direction where sci-fi elements come into it.
Alias is another one of those shows that I kind of like, I didn't watch continuously. I kind of just dipped in and out of it.
I'm going to throw this out there. I watched all of Alias, and it's now on Amazon Prime, and I'm thinking about going back into this world.
I mean, I will probably watch, if I do start an Alias rewatch, I will probably watch until Bradley Cooper's gone.
And he was like hardly even in it. Let's be real. Like he was kind of like a minor character. A part of me believes that Alias and Felicity could exist in the same world.
I can maybe see that.
I know Jennifer Garner is a character on both shows.
Well, you know, J.J. Abrams had the idea of what if Felicity turned out to actually be a CIA agent? And that's how we got Alias.
Yes, I was going to say, there's that angle, and then Alias establishes that we can recreate people, because we got Francine, whatever her name was, got doubled. She got doubled, so, that could explain 2 Jennifer Garners.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like they could exist in the same... Like, I could see, like, you know what, maybe Felicity decides to go to grad school, but she wants to go back in California. I'm assuming Alias takes place in California. I can't remember. It's been a while.
I feel like it did.
And she goes to grad school, and she goes to the Alias school, and she like bumps into Jennifer. She bumps into Sydney Bristow, and she's like calling her whatever her name is on Felicity, and she's like
Hannah.
She's like Hannah. And Sydney's like, who are you? And Felicity, I was like your gal pal for like a year and a half, and then you came back. She's like, no, I'm Sydney. And then we go down this like rabbit hole of Sydney begins to discover that there's another her. Or remember that season where like Sydney like gets her memory erased?
Yeah.
Maybe she became Hannah.
Ooh.
Or maybe Hannah's real
and Sydney's not.
The memory erased personality. So I don't know. And then we can even tie it in with the Americans too. Let's throw in some Russian spies. Why not?
Oh God. Let's just stop.
We can even take it to the Lost World, because in one episode of Alias, Sydney's listening to Drive Shaft.
Oh, Drive Shaft.
Who knows? Maybe, you know what? Maybe Felicity could have been on the oceanic flight. That would have been great, huh?
She was a fucking tailie.
She's one of the tailies who like disappears, or you can never see again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like they're looking at the manifest and it says like Felicity Porter on it, and you're like, whoa.
Oh my God. No. Let's move on. I'm done with Felicity.
I'm done. We're going to close the book until next time when we do the first Thanksgiving. We're going to go back in time.
No, we're never going to Felicity again. I'm done. I can't with her stalker ass.
You never want to go back to Felicity?
No.
Come on, not even like, maybe like 4 years from now? Like, we'll do a...
No.
Not even for a bonus episode? Not even for the Patreon?
Nope.
You don't want to?
Nope.
Come on.
Nope, we're done.
We can do Crazy Stalker Month.
No.
We'll do like single white female.
Ugh.
All right. I'm excited about next week. We're doing just a regular episode. It's not a holiday. No one's going back in time. It's just a regular day.
Just a regular day.
Just a regular day in 1950s New York City, or late 50s, early 60s New York City.
50s.
We're going back to a simpler time, right?
Yes, we are going to visit one of our favorite classic TV ladies.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't know. We haven't picked the episode yet, so I don't know if we're going to do like an early one.
Yeah.
Or if we'll do like a later years where they're in Connecticut, or a California adventure, or one with like a celebrity. Like, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? We're going to do I Love Lucy for the second time, right? We're dipping back in for our second helping.
Maybe. I honestly don't remember at this point.
Ooh, I mean,
like, I literally don't know what we have and haven't done. I'll be like, oh, this is our first time. And you're like, no, Kat, this is like the 5th time we've done this. And I'm like, are you sure?
We could always do the one where Lucy hires the guy to break into the house to steal the fur coat that Lucy bought accidentally, and then she wanted like it to be like fake stolen, but then like a real guy comes in and like steals the coat. We could do that one.
Oh, Lucy.
We could do the one where she's reading like a crime thriller novel and she thinks Ricky's trying to kill her. We can do the one where she works at the chocolate factory. We can do the one where she meets Superman, George Reeves. There's so many. She meets John Wayne, I too.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many we can do. Who knows? We'll have to go through the list. We'll have to go through the hot list and try to figure one out. You know, I tried to like see if I could find like a good like Christmas one. I don't think they even have a Christmas episode, to be honest with you.
They do.
Well, they weren't available on Hulu. But I have the DVD, so I can watch like the ones that Hulu don't have.
Well, lucky you.
I can Lucy drop you. They're really cheap. You can buy them for like $10 like a season. All right. Where can you follow our wild ass adventures, Kat Alsted, the author? Where can you follow our adventures?
You can find us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram at a very special podcast. Do not accept imitations. And you found us somehow, so subscribe. Support us on Patreon. Get all kinds of wild bonus stuff.
Yeah, we got lost episodes of the podcast from years ago on here. We got Commercial Corner. We got Movie Night, in which we talk about movies from the 90s, 80s, and early 2000s, and we decide if they're still good. So far, we're like 2 for 3 right now. There's like one that was like really horrible, and then the other 2 are like still good.
Yeah, something like that.
As of this recording. All right, so as always, girl, as always,
bye.
Watch the skies for Ryan, Noel's brother, flying away, just confused as fuck as what the hell just happened Thanksgiving weekend.